What up, you guys? Today I'm going to show you a little technique that I think is useful, which is basically setting up your DAW to be ready to go by the time you're about to start a new project. So basically this means, or what I'm talking about right now, is by having your sends set up. So I just pressed Command Option R to make those sends pop up, which are all these guys here. And basically it's important to have these ready to go, because when they are already there and configured the way you want them, then when you're producing and making a new track, it's going to be a lot easier to just quickly add effects and just keep thinking and keep going on the move. I was inspired by an Andrew Shep's interview when he was on Pensado's Place, which is a channel you should definitely check out if you want to get better at mixing. But cool. So that's basically the concept. Just have your sends already ready to go. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. But first off, let me tell you what a send is and like what its function is. So I'm just going to draw in a little MIDI clip here. I'll just draw in a little arpeggio of sorts. Okay, so right now we have this little guy going, right? So let's say you're digging that. That's just a sine tone coming out of this operator. So basically, let's say you wanted to add reverb to this, but you didn't want it to just, you still wanted to keep the nice little attack of the sine. So for instance, I have a reverb here after the operator, and sometimes if you add too much reverb when it's set as an insert, it just turns into mush, right? You lost that attack. So that's why sends are kind of nice, because now you can just add. Because now you can basically add the reverb while keeping the original attack with a send. So that's why it's oftentimes preferable to using reverb as an insert. So right here, if you look at this, this is a plate reverb. So this is just a waves reverb that I like to use. And basically I have this set up in my send channel. So what I'm going to do is by going here, I'm going to start to pull this up. And basically when I pull it up, the sine signal, the signal of the sine wave, starts getting sent to the plate reverb. The reverb is applied, and then it's mixed back into the master channel. So you can hear both the clean sine here and then the affected sine over here. So this allows you to add reverb while retaining that nice little attack. So that's pretty cool. And you can do this for all sorts of things. So I have an H delay set up with eighth notes. So I can start sending in some, I can just start mixing in some eighth note delays. Then I can add a little reverb again. Then I have one with distortion set up, so I can go. And then I have a couple compressors set up, like I have a compressor set up with a 10:1 ratio, and then one set up with a 3:1 ratio. And so basically, let's say if you wanted to compress this, you could just pull that up. And then you can pull this one up too. I like having the two different types of compressors set up in my sends, because they both, like I found that the glue with the 10:1 ratio seems to give more body, where the R comp with a 3:1 can oftentimes make some higher frequencies stand out more, which I like. So yeah, but basically, hopefully you can see how having a lot of these sends activated can be a really efficient way to produce. So like, let's say back when I was just affecting this sine, if I wanted to distort it, put reverb on, and put delay all as sends, I would have had to go over here. I'd have to, find a delay. Then I'd have to find, where's the reverb? Then I'd have to find a reverb. Then I'd have to go grab a distortion. And that just takes a long time. And yeah, and I'm, when you're producing, you want to stay in that mode. So having these sends set up and ready to go is going to help you do that. Once you do set them up, just press Command, comma, and then this screen will pop up. And you'll press on the File Folder tab, and you'll press Save Current Set as Default. And thus, the next time that you load in a new project, which I'm going to do now, all of your sends are already going to be ready to go. And so you're going to then be able to produce whatever track you're about to produce with more speed. See, new template, or new instance, I guess, and then all these sends are already here. So yeah, go ahead and give that a try. If you're wondering, oh, what the hell am I going to put in there? Like you don't know what sends you're going to use, then just start experimenting with sends in the first place. Because it might take you a while to learn what you even need to put in this column. For instance, mine, like periodically I change what sends are in here. Like I usually have this plate reverb because I think it sounds nice. Then I have a snare reverb dedicated just for a snare with a gate already ready to go because, you know, gated reverb sounds nice. Then I have a ping pong delay because that's tight. And then an H delay, which is just a delay set with eighth notes. Then I have, again, that glue compressor, and then an R compressor, and then a distortion unit. So I found that I liked these because just through producing, I found myself using these tools. And thus, that's how I know what I want in my chain. So you're going to have to figure that out for yourself. If you're really starting at ground zero, then just go ahead and just try and pop anything in there. I mean, I think as its default, Ableton has reverb and delay set in there. But let's say you never use distortion as a send. Go ahead and just throw distortion in there and then save it to your default template, because if it's there, you're more inclined to use it. So that might help you, I guess, expand your tools. Like, I've never put a flanger in the send, but like that could be interesting, and that could, you know, give me new ideas too. So yeah, hopefully that helped. Set up your sends, and y'all have a good one. Adios.